Have you ever noticed how a calm mind can really set the stage for a good night's sleep? That's the idea behind our new podcast, Good Sleep. Greg, our host from Optimal Relationships Daily, is here to help ease you into a peaceful night's rest with some positive affirmations. And these affirmations aren't just comforting, they can help ease anxiety and nurture positive thoughts, setting you up for true good sleep. So, press play on Good Sleep tonight because a good tomorrow starts with a good night's sleep. Just search for Good Sleep in your podcast app and be sure to pick the one from Optimal Living Daily. This is Optimal Health Daily. Iron Deficiency, Everything You Need to Know, Part 1 by Nicole Poidevin with idealnutrition.com.au. And I'm Dr. Neil, your host and narrator. Hey there, welcome to another edition of Optimal Health Daily, where I read some of the best blogs covering health and fitness, just like an audiobook. Now, we have a bunch of shows where we do this very same thing. Just search for Optimal Living Daily to find all of them. Now, today's post is a bit longer than what I typically narrate. So whenever that happens, I'll read the first half today and then finish it up for you tomorrow. So with that, let's get right to part 1 as we optimize your life. Iron Deficiency, Everything You Need to Know, Part 1 by Nicole Poidevin with idealnutrition.com.au. Nutrient deficiencies are not often thought to be big issues in developed countries such as Australia. With access to fresh food and water, it can be easy for us to get adequate nutrients from a balanced diet. However, iron deficiency is one of the most common deficiencies in the world, affecting more than 25% of people worldwide. Young women are at particular risk, with higher requirements for iron during childbearing age. Iron is a mineral required for a number of functions within the body, including making red blood cells and transporting oxygen around the body. It is also important for producing energy, optimal immune function, and storing oxygen in our muscles. Iron is an essential mineral, meaning you must get it from food. The symptoms of iron deficiency include general fatigue and weakness, pale skin, shortness of breath, headaches, dizziness, cold hands and feet, brittle nails, and more. It's important to note that there are 2 types of dietary iron. Heme iron, which is a type of iron that's more readily absorbed and can be found in animal foods such as red meat, and non-heme iron, which is much more common. However, the body does not absorb it as efficiently. Non-heme iron is mostly found in plant foods such as red kidney beans. What are the causes of iron deficiency? Iron deficiency can occur if your dietary intake of iron is too low to replace the iron you lose each day. Some of the common causes of iron deficiency include 1. Increased need during different life stages. Women are at particular risk of iron deficiency during different stages of their lives. Pregnancy, breastfeeding, menstruation, childhood, and the adolescent growth spurt are situations where the body is using more iron, and as a result, requirements are much higher. If this need isn't met through dietary intake or supplements, then a deficiency can occur rapidly. 2. Exercise. Athletes and those that participate in regular exercise are prone to iron deficiency due to an increased need for the mineral. Intense training requires increased blood cell production and can result in depleted iron stores. 3. Blood loss. Iron deficiency is often the result of periods of rapid blood loss. This may be caused by heavy menstrual periods, regular nosebleeds, internal bleeding, certain medications, or even regular blood donation. 4. Inadequate dietary intake. Dietary intake of iron may be inadequate for a number of reasons, including a poorly balanced diet, fad dieting, or limited access to a wide range of nutritious foods. 5. Following a plant-based diet. Plant foods contain non-heme iron, which is less well absorbed in the gastrointestinal tract. Therefore, those following a predominantly plant-based diet have 80% greater requirements than those who eat animal products regularly. This can make it more difficult to maintain good iron stores. And 6. Undiagnosed celiac disease. In untreated celiac disease, the lining of the gut where iron is absorbed is damaged by eating gluten. As a result, the absorption of iron is greatly affected. This type of iron deficiency is unresponsive to iron therapy unless the celiac disease is first addressed. What is the treatment for iron deficiency? It's important to diagnose the underlying cause of the iron deficiency, and if this has a medical cause, this must first be treated. For those with slightly depleted stores, increasing dietary intake of iron may be enough to resolve any symptoms, followed by regular blood tests to check iron status. A diagnosis of iron deficiency anemia will often require iron supplements, and it may take 6 to 12 months before iron stores reach optimal levels. Also, those with iron deficiency anemia will likely need to take high-dose iron supplements to return iron stores to normal levels in an efficient way. In Australia, these are available over the counter at a pharmacy, but not something you can buy directly off the shelf. There are many iron supplements that have much smaller dosages, which can be used to supplement dietary intake for maintenance of iron stores, but are unlikely to move the needle on deficiency. It is also probably not a great idea to supplement with iron unless an iron deficiency has been diagnosed by a doctor. This is because iron is toxic in large amounts. Unnecessary iron supplementation can interfere with your body's absorption of other minerals. It can also cause unwanted side effects, including nausea, constipation, vomiting, and diarrhea. In addition to supplementation, there's also the option of having an iron infusion. This is where an iron-rich formula is provided through an IV under medical care. Often, doctors in Australia will not offer an iron infusion unless an individual's iron stores are very low. However, even if you are just within the range of deficiency, it could be worth asking about. Unlike supplementation, which often takes 3 to 9 months to restore iron levels, an iron infusion is only a 3 to 4 hour procedure. So it's a very effective way of increasing iron stores, with most feeling better in no more than 2 weeks. How much iron should we be getting? Hear that on tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled Iron Deficiency, Everything You Need to Know by Nicole Poidevin with idealnutrition.com.au, and I'll be right back with my commentary. Right now, there's a talented person out there who could take your company to the next level. Do you want to hope they see your job post before your competitors? Or do you want to match with them with Indeed sponsored jobs? Stop struggling to get your job post even seen on other sites. Give your job the best chance to be seen with Indeed sponsored jobs. When I was looking to hire, it was so slow and overwhelming. I wish I had used Indeed. Spend more time interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Less stress, less time, more results now with Indeed sponsored jobs. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to help get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Do it the right way with Indeed.
Sierra has all the best active and outdoor brands you need. From athletic stuff, like a full court pickup game, swish, to athlete-ish stuff, like a half-mile stroll. Get those steps in. And for morning hikes up the mountain trail, good pace. To nighttime ghost stories from the camping chair. What a twist. Whatever level of active, Sierra loves it all. Head to Sierra or Sierra.com for the brands you want at the prices that let you do it all. From athletic to athlete-ish, Sierra's got it.
Dr. Neil here with my commentary. Now, you might be wondering, again, how will I know if I have an iron deficiency? Most people don't know unless they get tested for it. As today's article described, there are some symptoms that someone with an iron deficiency might experience, but the symptoms are often mild. Oftentimes, the symptoms can be mistaken for simply a lack of sleep. So if you or your healthcare provider suspect you may be iron deficient, likely you're going to first have to go through a blood test. Your healthcare provider will probably look at 3 specific blood values: your hemoglobin, your hematocrit, and your ferritin levels. Now, how will you know whether you need to contact your healthcare provider to get checked for an iron deficiency? Again, today's article describes some of these symptoms, like unusual fatigue or weakness. Even if you have difficulty concentrating, these may be symptoms of iron deficiency. But as I said, these could also be symptoms of not getting enough sleep or feeling really stressed too. So that's why it is best to have a conversation with your healthcare provider before deciding to take an iron supplement on your own. Because as today's author Nicole said, too much iron can be toxic. All right, that'll do it for today. Thank you so much for listening today and every day. I'll be back here tomorrow to finish up this post, so I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.